Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy Live. You got us tonight, Mr. Aaron Lesley, Texas Oil Dust, Mr. Lee Hickel, Red Mule
What's up,
Barbecue.
guys?
How you doing, brother?
It's a good Tuesday.
It's a good Tuesday, that's for sure. Man, I know you guys have got to be happy after last weekend going to San Antonio. I mean, that's a party waiting to happen down there, man. So
Yeah. Ran
I'm
a good
always
cook,
glad
but
when I
no,
get a black and gold.
right? Yeah, ran a good cook, but no good results.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's a crapshoot. I tell people all the time, man, 300 teams, they probably went 5 or 6 rounds. Man, you have to catch good tables 5 rounds. Yeah, you have to catch good tables all the time. And man, you know, there's a lot of good cooks, and you think about it, man, you got 20 good cooks piled up on, you know, a couple tables, 2 tables, but 10 cooks on each one of them, or 50, you know, man, anybody can get booted off. So that makes it awfully hard.
Yeah, it's tough to make that amount of rounds and with that flavors, you know, trying to make sure you get it down the funnel.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we got a few folks coming on tonight. We got Mr. Chase. Chase is on here. Thank you,
Chase.
sir.
We call him Sue.
Sue.
That's a boy named Sue right there. Just
Boy
call him
named
Sue.
Sue.
You'll be all
Got
right.
Mr. Sam. Yeah. 2 sauce birdies. All right. Cook Shack. Buddy, what's going on, brother? I know. I still haven't called you. I'll tell you right now, you think I'm kidding you, but every day I've got a reminder in my phone. Every day. Let me see. This was supposed to happen today. At 12 o'clock. This is what keeps popping up in my phone every day at 12 o'clock until I call. And it's been like that now for 2 weeks. And I promise you, I'm going to call.
Team Old chiming in, man.
I'm like, good Lord. So I'm going to call. I promise you.
6 or 7 Team Old members in here.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Look at you. You know,
that West Coast Mafia coming in again. Here we go.
That's it. That's
it.
Hey,
man. West Coast Mafia.
John, appreciate you being here.
You got to offend the old California boys out there, man.
Oh, I know it.
Well, that's even really West Coast.
Oh, goodness. Al, appreciate you being here. Eddie, got Eddie on. Lance, appreciate you being here. Daddy Dutch, got you on here. Yeah, we got Mr. A-Rod.
What's up, A-Rod? Yeah, I like it.
Hey, what's going on? Mr. Mark, that's down in your neck of the woods, brother.
Oh,
Dallas. That's Mr. Newlywed right there.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was down in your area for some reason.
No, he's over there in the North.
He comes down to visit me. He comes down to visit.
He just comes to visit. Okay. Right. All right.
I mean,
Mr. Joe, man,
Buffalo. My buddy Mark Pugh, man, he sent me the old drunkest for I carry it in my pocket everywhere I go, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Man, what happened to the Bills?
Was that a game or what?
Come on.
Good gosh, that game was crazy.
Robbery.
So, anyway, yeah, there was a couple calls.
Hey, look at there.
Ron's Samantha. With us. Samantha's with us. Good evening.
She's doing good things for barbecue too. Boy, she's a hustler.
What's up, Jaime?
Jaime's with us tonight.
Oh, she's out there, man. She's selling. She's slinging, ain't she?
Big time.
She got her hands in a lot of pots. She's slinging.
Look how many miles she drives a year. What do you think? About 80,000? What do you think? A lot.
Samantha.
She probably puts on just a. Yeah, she probably puts them on there, but I don't know how far out she goes, man. She'd have to chime in on that.
Yeah.
How many miles you be driving, Samantha? You got everybody wondering now.
I'm wondering.
So, I know. I average 55 to 60,000 a year. So I mean, she's selling, she's slinging, so she's doing quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Gordon, thank you to Gordon for being here. Richard, appreciate you being here from Oklahoma. Dutch Daddies in the house there, and I'm going to call you when I get to the rodeo grounds in Houston. So, yeah, it looks like I'm going to be able to get down there and visit y'all in Houston this year. It's going to be a little bit of fun. I've never got a chance to go, but I'll be rolling down there, hopefully, hanging out with everybody. Let's see. AJ's with us. What's up, brother? Samantha. 65. Woo, that's a lot of dang miles. Yeah, Al's
burning some rubber, doing good for barbecue.
Yes, and yes. That's for sure. All right, guys, we're going to talk a little bit.
In case y'all are just curious, I've been eating on this. Here it is, guys. Old Dust jerky.
Man, when did you come out with this?
This is Meat Company Wagyu beef. Well, we've had it for a few years, but it got put on hold because of the plant that was making the jerky. But if you want a good jerky, Midland Meat Company's Wagyu beef bottom flap sirloin.
Yeah.
I mean, this right here is like it's like stepping into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah, with a little buttery Wagyu texture to it.
Yeah.
I can't quit eating it, man. I'm kind of like getting hooked on it. So y'all want some of this? Y'all call on Mill and me, come and order you some, because I'm telling you what, I can't stop eating. It's like an addiction.
Well,
I just got it today.
Don't eat all the profits. You know, you can't eat all the profits
the
there.
Wildcatter. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be eating all the profits. You got to share some
right.
for
You
us.
gotta share.
Here's my taster bag.
Yeah, that's it. So my question is, how do we get some of those Midland?
I mean, it's good stuff.
How do we get them them sausages that you're cooking? Do y'all ship that stuff? The sausage
I will.
that you okay?
Sure enough.
I need to find a time that's going to be really cold that you can just ship it, and it's going to be freezing cold outside, and you wouldn't even have to ice it. So last week would have been great. It wasn't.
It's already smoked, right? So it's packed, and
okay.
We'll get it down there, and we get it and put some of my freezer packs in there, mail it out overnight. Go.
Okay. Let's see. Must come from the same place that
right.
pecan lump comes.
Never get it.
Yeah, they'll never get it. That's right. We'll never get it. Aaron will eat up all the profits.
Yeah, you know, we haven't harvested it. It's not dried up yet.
But when it is, man, it's going to be good.
I gotta say something for myself, man.
That's it.
I gotta say something myself.
Goodness. Man. All right, guys, let's dive into it. We got quite a few folks, 30,000 folks on here tonight. Appreciate everybody being here. Look, Chuck Long, Chuck's on here. Yeah. If y'all got questions,
this. He was there with me at San Antonio.
Yeah, if y'all have any questions about tonight, you know, we're gonna talk a little bit about barbecue. We're gonna talk a little bit about San Antonio, and obviously we're gonna talk a little bit about the upcoming year, what we've kind of got planned. Man, I've already done filled out my schedule, and man, I've got more on there I've had, and probably the most I've ever had on my schedule this year. I'm planning on cooking a little bit more, so at least that's the game plan. But
I bet Chuck Long, I bet he's got that pecan lump. I bet he's got that Wagyu beef jerky. And I bet he's got some sausage too from Aaron Lesley.
He probably does.
I bet he does.
He'll be posting.
You gotta join that West Mafia over there.
Yeah, you know, you would think, you know, that he'd be sending me that stuff where I could, you know, like, right. Hey, you know, I'm a good promoter. You know, I mean, let's see. If I got Aaron, I mean, what's all this there? Oh, all that Texas oil dust stuff back there. I mean, I can only imagine, like, you know, 6 bags of the beef jerky back there. You know, I mean, I'm just saying.
We can all sit here and eat it every Tuesday.
Oh yeah, sit here and just tell everybody how good it is. That's it.
I bet we can figure something out.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
With you. Just messing with you.
Oh gosh, and he's wanting the rooster juice. We just want some rooster juice. That's coming, I'm sure. So, all right, let's talk a little about San Antonio. So, Aaron, man, I'm telling you, I mean, you've been down there now a couple years. You got you some of the black and gold banners. Let's talk about that steak. What'd you have last year? And what'd you have this year in steak? Finish.
Man, I don't know if it's me breaking up or if it's y'all. I don't know what.
All right, where did you finish in steak last year?
Say it again now.
Where did you finish in steak at San Antonio last year?
How many banners?
Where did you finish in placing in steak last year?
Damn.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. It's breaking up real bad. I don't hear like every second word.
All right, let's try it again. Where did you finish in steak last year? He's breaking up on us. Man, we've had a good connection. Lee,
what I get in steak?
Yeah, last year.
I'm texting him right now.
It was third place steak last year.
Okay, and then where'd you finish this year?
Third place steak.
This year too? Man, we're breaking up bad. Dang.
This year too. 2 years in a row. Third place steak out of. I'm going to assume 200 plus teams.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing right there. And then all your other walks. Are you hearing us now? Is everything good, or is it kind of getting sketchy?
Yeah, it's so clear. I don't know. I don't understand. It was just kind of weird.
Okay, good. As long as you can hear us. Okay, so you had a third place steak last year. You come back this year, 200 teams, probably again turning in steaks. Another third place steak. Man, I'm telling you now, that's pretty dang consistent to have 2 top 3 finishes in steak back-to-back years. So that's pretty strong. I mean, that's you've obviously.
Man, I couldn't believe it. You know, I have my tickets I got my tickets in a little badge, right? It has a metal clip. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see through the little perp. You put a badge in there, right? So I can look at it. Lighting's kind of bad, but I looked at it. I remember I couldn't remember if it was 8369 or if it was a 96 or the 9 and 6 were right there together. So I looked at it with the light. I was like, And then finally I looked over and said, hey, what does that say? Just make sure I don't want to be that guy that goes all the way up to the front
Yeah.
and gets told that, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong ticket.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I had somebody verify it, and then that's it. I was like, boomed it. So.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your cooks now.
So, anyways, walked up there, got my banner. DJ's an asshole. He needs to go somewhere else. I need to find somebody else to do it.
Oh, the MC, the guy that was calling all this.
Somebody else to be the MC for that.
It was not good. I mean,
yeah,
we was watching.
He gets worse every year.
Yeah, we was watching Carlos's feed. And the biggest thing is, he's calling the numbers, and then all of a sudden he starts rushing everybody. Oh, come on up here, guys. We ain't got. Man, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to maybe even be getting a walk up on the stage, and he's rushing everybody. And then he never would call the team name. And we're like, who the hell was it? We're watching a feed, and we're like, well, who was it? And the camera was so far back you couldn't make it out. Well, finally, Carlos moved the camera closer. Well, then we could at least see we could see them, but we couldn't make out exactly who it was. And then finally, I guess it was almost to the end of chicken, he started calling the name then. Like, why the hell didn't you do that to begin with? Just, you call the number, somebody comes up there, and you don't even call the name. Like, how disrespectful is that? Man, there was a bunch of people that was like, his ass has got to go. That was freaking terrible. So, it started off terrible, and it did get better. Yeah. He seemed to quit
when
rushing
you get up
people.
there, he wants you to, yeah, when you get up there, and I understand, you've got 5 categories, 10 calls. I mean, I get it. You want to hurry up and get it done. A couple hours, you want to be out of there, right? It's cold. But they want you to say your team name and your name, right? Or whatever that is. They ask for 2. They yell it to the stage. And so you're at the fence, they yell it to the stage, and he has to catch what he can hear or see your shirt. And that's why he said, Texas old to us, or even made a comment about, chicken fried with Bill.
Right.
Hey, at least you got on your shirt, I can see who you are. Because they were never to yell it back to them to relay the name, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, the guy's an arrogant asshole, and I mean, I hate to say that, but it's like he has nowhere else to be. But he has a great momentum for the show.
Right.
He just rushes, and then he says things he shouldn't, because that's not the way you're supposed to be. But I understand what he's doing, because he's trying to hurry up and get it done, so they're not out there that long. I got it. But
yeah.
there's a fine line on that mix where you can kind of make it all work.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, they called kids stuff. There was only like they only called the top 3. That was over in like 3 minutes. And then they called one other thing. It was top 3. And then they got right into chicken. Well, man.
Well, they had the kid awards on Friday, so they already did all their banquet and all their awards.
Yeah,
on
but
Friday,
I thought they called somebody on Saturday that was kids.
They did. They called the kids, but just the top 3.
Just the top 3.
They had their awards on Friday.
Yeah, but it was just 3 people. Well, that didn't take 3 or 4 minutes, and that 5 minutes that was done. And then they had another little deal, and then they got into the regular top 10. Well, man, that wasn't a very long deal. I mean, he buzzed right through chicken in no time. And then same thing with ribs and brisket. It ain't like it took forever for people to come up there, but good Lord, man, I think they need to have something.
Your ancillary categories, your side pots are so huge at the SA Rodeo. That's where the money is at. So, in all honesty, your money is made in the side pots at the SA Rodeo. You do get paid in the top 10, a couple $100, $2, $3, $4, $5, $1,000, whatever. But you make your money. Your big money is made in these side pots on Friday night, and that's where there's a lot more. There's 5 categories, right? So trying to get through that kind of deal. So I understand his issue. I understand he's trying to push it through. He's a little bit more sarcastic, a little more arrogant, and he needs to just back up and chill and let the guys do their thing. Give it that minute. It's an extra minute. I got it. But, they probably need to find somebody else, a good rodeo announcer, someone who does the PBR or NFR, something like that. They'd probably find something like that, because that'd be a lot more entertaining than what that son of a bitch is doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't mean to cuss on here. Apologize, Mike.
Sorry, man. That's fine. I mean, everybody was getting frustrated. Bobby was on there too. Yeah, suck calling team names. I mean, it was horrible, because we were sitting there trying to watch all this stuff, and you couldn't see it. And then finally, Carlos moved his camera up. Well, that helped a little bit. And I don't understand. I mean, and I'm going to call Carlos, like, Carlos, you're right there. every time I do a podcast or every time I go live, I'm sitting there kind of talking to people. I'm letting know, hey, here's who came up. Here's where we are. This was 7th place chicken call. Aaron Lesley's up, blah, blah, blah. Man, narrate it a little bit. People are always like, man, thank God we've got somebody that'll at least talk to the dang camera. It's more entertaining than a camera sitting there the whole time. At least it makes them feel like they're part of it. At least they know what place was that. And, they'll say something, and was that 5th place or 6th place? Man, hey man, here we go. We got 6th place chicken coming. There goes Aaron Lesley. Congratulations, man. It takes 5 seconds. Just talk on the damn camera. It's not that dang difficult. I don't understand why people won't do it.
And it's difficult when the camera's up. The camera's up in the front, so you can kind of see, and they may not be up there where the camera is.
Right.
So yes, I understand that. You'd have to have a little more sophistication as far as like be able to mic in and be able to talk at the same time, and that will require a little extra equipment. But at least they put it on the big screen where it says 6th place chicken, and they're calling 5th. At least it has that ticket. While they're calling 5th, there's a 6th place, and so it can be confusing. To get that walk for that black and gold, to get that walk, you damn sure want to hear that number a couple times.
Right.
And at the same time, also not make a mistake and be that guy that walks all the way up there for the wrong ticket.
Right.
No one wants to be embarrassed like that. But man, but there's also a walk. There's also a shaking hands, high-fiving. It's part of the excitement of getting that banner. And you don't want to take that away from the cooks. And if you do that, then you're going to lose the reputation of what it should be versus what it is. So there's nothing better than the feeling of a black and gold banner. And when you get your first one, it took me 5 years for my first banner. It was a 1st place brisket, and I can't forget that feeling of emotion that overwhelms you. And then all of a sudden to get that reserve grand on top of that, that's even a better emotion, because I wasn't worried about the reserve grand. I was worried about the 1st place brisket. That's more important to me than reserve grand. So and then I had that steak call 2 years in a row. That was huge for me because it's just good. But I didn't expect it to travel that table and to be that far down. But at the same time, I was hoping it made all the way to the top. So came close, made the funnel.
Aaron, so on your steak turn-in, you turned in, I assume, 2 steaks.
Something like that.
And did you pre-cut any of your steaks?
Yeah. So you need enough bites for 25 people. So that they'll tell you that in the cook's meeting, right? You need enough bites for 25 judges. So you always want to make sure there's enough good meat for 30 people to go eat on, right? So you want to just turn in the best part that you can and you put them what's in there. So throw a couple of good ribeyes in there, make sure they're good, make sure everything's right. Put it where they can, when they're eating on it, they're getting everyone's going to go for the front of the steak. And so the spinalis area is where they're going to go for, unless you got that one guy that loves the tail, which I'm a tail guy. So when I cater 600-700 steaks at a time, I eat the tail piece of it off of every few steaks to make sure it's tasting good, because that's all seasoned too. And so when you have that, you're kind of making that deal where everybody's taking advantage of it. But, you just want to make sure that whatever you put in the box doesn't just make 5 rounds of judging, gets to 25, 30 bites it needs, and it still holds the integrity of the moisture. It still holds the softness, the tenderness that you can make it all the way through. So it's a tough judgment call of what you put in the box, but it usually takes a couple of steaks to make that work. Or
I'm sorry, Aaron. Can you see your screen?
You like a tail guy?
You look like a tail guy.
You look like a tail guy. I'm sorry, Aaron. That was a comment of the day.
So do you, Bill. Bill looks like a tail guy myself. He looks like a tail guy. When it tastes good, he grabs the whole steak and eats it. That's what my buddy Bill does. Man.
That would be Bill.
He don't really care. He just gonna eat whatever you give him. But
Bill gonna grab the dang handle and eat all of it.
The tail has the best part of meat to fat ratio.
Oh, it does.
He'll probably eat 3 or 4 of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's it. That's hilarious. Bill, congratulations, brother.
Bill's not bashful around good food.
No, Bill
had an awesome day. I tell you, Bill had 2 calls in the top 10 plus a 12th place rib.
Yeah.
I'm one of the only guys I've ever known to. Well, there's been a couple of them, but one of the only few guys I've ever known to be that close to having 3 top walks.
Yeah.
In the top 10. So congratulations, Bill. He did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I told him that we talked the other day.
Yeah, that's crazy to be able to be that consistent. And what, it had an 8th, a 9th, and a 12th, wasn't it? Something like that. I think it was an 8th.
I believe so.
8th, 9th, and 12th. And that's just crazy out of that many teams to go that many rounds at every one of them. That's pretty hard to do. So,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
A lot of
You know,
those
it was
teams
when I
have that
saw the
flavor
results and
profile
I
dialed
got the
in.
final table.
Go
Say
ahead,
again.
Eric. Go
You
ahead,
know, I
Eric.
got that final table, so I went by the tent looking for the semifinals
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get the semifinal pictures. You know, so the next day they had them sent to us, and I was the 21st brisket, 22nd chicken, 26th rib.
Wow.
So I mean, I was pretty consistent with the tables. I just didn't make the final tables on it.
Didn't
You know, I
get
was
the
right
next
there
one.
really close. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that many teams, I'll take it. That just means that what I've got going on is pretty consistent, and I'll just dial it up just a little bit more and make it a little bit better.
Right. Right. Hey, Bill, I sent you an email earlier today.
And
If you
like Bill,
would,
you talked to Bill. It's like it's getting lucky, but it's finding the right tables. It's also
yeah,
getting there where you need to be, and it just happens to be that you land on the right table that makes you one more round.
yeah, yeah, 100%, and that's it. It's just you got to get. I mean, it
So
takes when
Bill
you're
had a
doing.
good time. So did Eddie. And he had a solid call.
Yeah, two of them. That was pretty amazing. So, man, when he got that second call, I was like, "That's it. I don't see anybody beating him." And then all of a sudden, then Fred had a second place rib, and I was like, "Oh crap! Now wait a minute." Fred's been known to get a couple first place briskets at San Antonio. I was like, if he gets a first place brisket and beats Deadgum Eddie, Eddie's gonna be sick. Like, wow, I had this, and then it's gone. So,
And that old time scoring reminds you of how all the Texas used to be, you know, because that first place brisket could win the
yeah,
rodeo.
could
You
win.
know,
Yeah,
I mean, Jaime had, well, I believe
Good.
that brisket got reserved.
yeah,
You know, so it's just a flashback
And it's
on.
not mine. My brisket got reserved a couple of years ago. I don't think anyone these days, with the amount of competition that we have, will ever win first place with a first place brisket anymore.
yeah,
I think that the amount of competition cooks that we have, the amount of talent we have, the amount of cooks that we have, I think it's always going to take 13 plus to win it.
yeah,
And that's just me, but that's what I've seen over the last 5 or 6 years. Someone's a good comp cook, a good cook with good strategies, always had at least 2 walks, and 13 points plus has always gotten it. So
right.
I don't think a first place brisket and these kind of cook-offs are going to make it anymore.
Yeah,
It's only because the amount of talent that's showing up to these cook-offs to stretch it out.
yeah, yeah. The talent level of the field has gotten quite deep. That's for sure. So. I don't know how many. You know, it's funny because I'll see a lot of people that are walking, and man, it's just they're good cooks. You know, they're consistent, and that to me that's what it takes. It takes somebody that's just can consistently cook good food. And Bill, man, I mean, he's even switched away from his drums and cooking on the new pit that Phil whipped out. And hey,
Yeah,
Bill,
feels good.
yeah,
PB.
yeah. So I mean. Bill, if you're still on, I'm assuming is that what you cooked on this weekend? Did you cook the ribs and brisket on your new smoker that Phil built for you, or did you cook all three? Just wondered, did the chicken hit it? If you still on, Bill, let us know. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy to roll out with.
There's quite a few of us that have those Philip Breeden cookers on schedule. I talked to Phil when he first starting to do it, and
Breeden smoker. Okay.
Bill got the first one, and Phil's getting number 2.
Okay.
And
chicken was
then,
on the
then
Weber.
mine
Okay.
will be, I'm hoping mine will be coming pretty quick. So
okay, man, that's awesome. So he cooked both the brisket and rib on that, and he cooked the chicken on a Weber. That's awesome. Hey, Bill, I sent you an email earlier today. If you would take a look at that, I need to get that information from you, so you can do it sometime tonight or first thing in the morning. Well, man, I tell you what, I mean, that wasn't he's. I was like really going to see how well was he going to do with this thing. It's always scary. You're coming from a drum. He's been cooking on drums forever, and it's all of a sudden. I think his first cook on that thing was, I think it was the CBA World Championship, or it was the one before that. Man,
I think it was El Campo.
Was it El Campo? That's right. He did a little test run at El Campo, and then he went to the CBA. That's right.
You got to remember, Bill is very familiar using an offset. He had a pit maker sniper for the longest time also.
Yeah,
with those cans. True. So Bill is very universal on anything you throw in front of him. So he wasn't having to learn from ground zero cooking on an offset. He's pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah, El Campo, 3rd overall. Yeah, there it was. That's right. I remember now. And then he went to the CBA World Championship, did great there. And man, now he rolls off to this one and did great there. So he's definitely broke it in right. That is for dang sure. So, man, it's always good when you get a new smoker and you can roll like that. Congratulations, Bill. Man, that's awesome. So, Anyway, but yeah, I mean these big cook-offs. I mean, they were once again bumping right at 300 teams. I think I heard almost 280. Was that what it was? The final count. So a lot of
They all, it
276.
depended on what meet it was, between 280 and 295. Depending
Yeah.
on, there's over 300 teams that signed up, but an average of 290 was the amount of teams that turned in.
Okay, 290. Yeah, and that's right there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to get back to that dadgum offset bill. I done told him get rid of that vault. So he's working on it.
That safe is slowing me down, even though I love it, right? The flavor profile is just not quite the same.
It is not the
missing.
same. It's not the same. I've tasted it. It just don't taste like an offset, man.
No.
So anyway. Well, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, it looks like y'all had some really good weather. A little cool down there, but man, it was nice. And Red Mule is giving me all the pointers. Oh, goodness.
We did travel the country quite a bit, and we shared a lot of stuff,
That's for sure. That is for sure.
I think I've learned more from him now than him from me, so that's for sure.
I mean, that's the thing. Barbecue love, brother.
Right.
When you got a good group of guys that are working together and stuff, it makes it nice. So, oh goodness gracious. So, where you up next, Aaron? Where you cooking next, Aaron? You there?
Well, I'm gonna take this weekend off. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So this weekend I'm taking a weekend off. Just not feeling too good after San Antonio.
Right.
But the next weekend I'm going to go to Cody. I'll be at Santa Ana, Lone Star Cougar of the Year. Daniel and Christina Rodriguez, they are the Cody Lone Star Cougar of the Year. I'll go there to support them and cook that cook-off there. And then from there, we'll just look at the dates and see what's up next. And get geared up for Austin Rodeo on the 7th of March.
Okay, there you go. Austin Rodeo, 7th of March. Okay. All right, Chris has got a question. Please no bashing on this question, but is it better to have consistency on techniques or flavor? Okay, who wants to go first?
Technique is all about it. You got to hit your tenderness. You got to hit your scales just right. Flavors is just a matter of the palate. You can't consider flavor on 5 people. They're going to taste 5 different things. Yeah. It has to be consistent on your texture and hitting your points and your marks, and that's where it's going to be at every time. If you can nail that,
that's it.
The flavor is just going to be up in the air to anyone who judges.
That's right. I 100% agree with you.
I think if you're consistent on your techniques weekend after weekend, and you like your flavor profile, and it seems to be doing pretty consistent with the judges, I think if you nail your techniques, then your flavor is going to follow.
That's right. That's right.
If you know your timelines and everything that you have done well with, I think your flavor is going to do well.
Yep. I look at it like this. If you miss tenderness and texture and all that stuff, it don't matter about the flavor.
That's right.
It doesn't matter, because at that point it's already a bad mouthfeel. It doesn't taste good. The moisture's not there. It doesn't matter what you put on for flavor. It's already done. So I think
I've always heard that tenderness trumps taste. So you want to make sure you get the right techniques to get your tenderness down, and then your flavor, again, is going to coattail your techniques.
Right. And I mean, we all are kind of running, there's just, there's so many different rubs out there, guys. And all of us are probably using some of the same type rubs. So the flavors are probably not too far off of anything. I mean, every once in a while you may have one that stands out a little bit because it may have some sweet with just a little back end heat. Rest of them are all kind of middle of the road, just tastes good barbecue. But man, it's really about where's the moisture at in the meat, how tender is it, and to me, I think that's what makes it stand out more than anything. So,
Chris, if you're going to try to go in there and recreate everything you're doing, I'd be very careful and just do it one thing at a time. Don't go in there and change your entire recipe, your techniques to get a different flavor. Yeah. So it looks like you're having a hard time with your flavor. So you can change your wood, you can change an injection, you can change the seasoning, you can change your sauce at the end. There's so many variables that will give you a different flavor for the judges. Like Mike just said, a lot of us run almost the same kind of flavor profile, but at the end you can change that with the sauce or with the finishing dust. So, but a lot of it is going to be with if you inject or don't inject. You want the natural flavor of the meat to come through, then maybe little injection. If you want to overpower it with a lot of extra beefy enhancements, then you want to maybe go with a stronger, heavier injection. So there's a lot of things you can do to change your flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So, but whatever you're going to do, just change one thing first and then document it and then run it and see how that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have issues on techniques, I'm telling you right now, get the techniques worked out first and then work on the other, because the techniques will carry a lot of stuff over to your flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Aaron, what do you
um,
think?
I'm gonna be honest. Go cook an organization that gives you feedback on your flavor profile, and I say that very widely open. But KCBS can give you comments. Not all the time will you get comments, and CBA will give you comments. And so sometimes you can go cook one of those two organizations, and it will give you feedback, or you can see a numbered score on texture, tenderness, or your flavor profile, and you can in appearance, you can, but you get that feedback, right? So sometimes it's not about what your friends think. It's not about what you tasted. You're going to have to go judge a little bit, maybe to find out. I always just talk to people and talk about what they, what they tasted or what they felt. But the main thing is cook an organization that gives you a little bit of feedback
mm-hmm.
towards your flavor profile, and that way you can understand. But if you go cook San Antonio, you're going to get one result. But if you go cook Cuero, you get another result. But yet you go down to 1604 somewhere down in the, I don't know. I mean, pick a town,
Right.
and you jump to one other town next to it. The flavor is totally different. So it's very hard to adjust your flavor profile for a judge, because not only KCBS only does certified judging. The rest of everybody else, the alphabet soup over here, only does what profile they feel is comfortable to them. So it's very tough, but at least you get some kind of feedback in CBA on what possibly they were thinking in their head. It ain't always the same, and it's not always a good comment, but at least 90% or 80% of the judges give you something to work off of. But you got to cook 4, 5, 6 in a row. But the problem is, like me, if I'm cooking San Antonio this weekend and Denton, Texas next weekend, and Austin the next weekend, and West Texas next weekend, it doesn't do me any good.
Right.
But I can still narrow it down to where I find a flavor that I think might work across the state. But you got to cook something that gives that kind of feedback to find out.
Yep. 100%. All right, Aaron, got a question for you. You placed you placed using your rooster juice a couple of weeks ago.
Am I losing you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, give me
okay.
let me log on to my cell phone. Maybe
we can hear
maybe
you,
I'm
Aaron.
losing you guys with my internet connection. I have good internet, but
We can
I
hear
don't know
you.
what's going on.
We can
You
hear
can't
you.
hear us.
You can hear me, it's okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. So here's the question.
Yeah, it's like breaking up like it was Lee earlier.
All right, you placed using your rooster juice a couple of weeks ago. What's the difference between rooster juice and cluck cutter? Can you hear us?
Well, my rooster juice is a brine.
Okay.
It's a brine, but at the same time, it can be used as an injection. It can be used as a rub. So we use the rooster juice in the restaurant on our chicken.
Okay.
So that's where I started making the roosters back in 2019. And I mean, it was something we kind of worked on and we kind of played with it, but I used it back then. But now we season our chicken breast that we flame grill at the restaurant with our rooster juice. And then I moved it, but I've always had that, but I wanted to use it every day in the restaurant for a everyday profile. How do my customers like it? How do they like the flavor on the chicken breast? So I could find that out as a seasoning. And then I've always used it as a brine, and I've always used it as an injection part of my. So I would use the brine, but I'd also use it as part of my injection. So I kind of did that. But in 19, I just kind of made it. But then COVID came in. I kind of put things on hold because obviously, things are slowing down. People are buying stuff. You can't keep stuff in stock. And it was hard to get a new product out there. So to answer your question, as far as the rooster juice goes, it is a brine. It is also can be used as an injection as part of your injection, and it can also be used as a seasoning. And so you kind of get all that going on, and it just kind of puts all those flavors together.
So your rooster juice comes in a powder.
Coda is just a good chicken injection.
It's a powder. Powder.
Sir?
Is it a powder?
Is your rooster juice a powder?
It's like using a seasoning out of a bottle.
Okay. So it's powder. Okay.
It's granular. My rooster juice is granular.
Granular. Okay. When's it going to be available? When's it available?
Well, I'm working on that.
Okay.
You guys, after the holidays, it's very tough to get a seasoning in. I'm sold out on a lot of my co-packer stuff, so trying to get that back in stock, and then trying to get a new product, coming out. And so I'm hoping by the middle of the summer it's ready to go.
Okay, there you go, middle of summer. All right.
I just got all the bags printed, so I'm just waiting on the new sample to come in, and I can get it launched and bags filled. So I need a few more, 3-4 more months.
Okay. All right, let's see, Gabe. I stupidly put hot ribs into my Cambro while it was cold. I left the ice tray in there all day, and my ribs tightened up. However, my ribs tightened up this weekend, too, despite not making the same mistake. What am I doing wrong? When I pulled the ribs, they were probe tender, but after resting for an hour or so, they tightened up. Well, there could have been sometimes resting on this time of the year, and no matter how hot that Cambro, unless that Cambro is stupid hot, they can tighten up. The longer they sit, the more that they're going to tighten up. Yep. So there's a lot of things that can cause it. Push them a little. If you keep having that, I don't know what the temperature was, Gabe, and I don't know what the temperature was in your Cambro. Now, there's a big difference in a Cambro temperature when it's 40 degrees outside and you got one meat in it, or when it's 100 degrees outside and you put a brisket and stuff in it. It's definitely going to be a heck of a lot hotter in that Cambro, and the hotter that Cambro stays, the ribs will tighten up a little bit less. So that's one thing to check. So the first thing I would do, instead of trying to take them to a higher temperature, is cut down your rest time maybe to 30 minutes or 40 minutes at the most, and see how they are. Just if you wanted to do a practice rib, and just see if that works. But a lot of it could be simply because your Cambro is just not as hot. Maybe in the summertime you wasn't having problems. Now it's winter, especially here lately. It's been very cold. That Cambro may not be as hot as what it is in the summertime. What do you think, Aaron? Lee?
Yeah. So, Gabe, are you only putting your ribs in the Cambro, or are you putting your brisket in there as well? Is it just one meat? Because my Cambro will usually have all the meats jammed in it, except for my chicken. So my Cambro is usually hot, and I don't usually have a problem with my ribs tightening up. But my Cambro's hot.
Yeah. It's gotta,
anything else, you can put some hot water in there to
get it warm,
pump up the heat a little bit.
Yeah.
So
you got to get it warm.
Sometimes I rely on my Cambro to.
My thing is when I put my ribs in my Cambro more than an hour, they seem to tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
They just cool down too much. They tighten up, right? So I like to cut mine off. Mine like to come off just right at, 30 minutes before it's time to sauce.
Yeah.
You guys can hear me okay. My earbuds are getting low on me. So
you're good.
I just noticed this weekend, I pulled mine off. I threw them in the Cambro. My Cambro was already hot because I had hot meat from chicken and everything inside there. Normally I will take a sheet pan and I will have it on the pit. I have some open space, and then as soon as I do, I throw it in the Cambro to heat that Cambro up. Mm-hmm. But I pulled my ribs somewhere about a little early. I have a certain texture I look for a rib, and Bill knows what I'm talking about. But there's a certain texture you're looking for a large cook-off that kind of makes the funnel. And I went ahead and saw that. I felt it. And I thought, man, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and yank them a little early. I threw them in the hot box, and they just tightened up on me just a little bit. Had I just gone a little bit longer, it'd probably been okay. But I don't like to rest my ribs. I don't want them rested. I want them coming off the pit, sitting on the counter 15, 20 minutes and going straight to sauce and put them on the smoker, right? So I just don't want to give my meat time to cool off, because I need to go that distance. You got to have it hot and soft.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Anybody else can say something different that probably has walked in it.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. This past weekend, I had a full tray with hot water in it to heat it up. Brisket was already in there, too. Weather was about 50 degrees. 50 degrees is pretty cold. Mm-hmm. And that box, you got to figure that rib's coming off.
Look, there's Eddie right there.
There he is. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck?
Whoa,
what the heck? I put my ribs in Cambro at 11. There we go.
All right. Works. Write that one down. Take a note.
There we go. Well, Eddie, I sent you a message to try to get you on our show. So,
Eddie, do you preheat your Cambro this weekend, or did you just stick your meat in there cold? That's kind of what we're asking right now. Is your Cambro cold or hot? No, Eddie.
We're asking Eddie. Yeah, you're off the
Oh,
chain now. We got Eddie on now. I didn't get him on the show, but at least I got him in the chat.
yeah.
So,
Eddie said, "Hey, I'm chump change now, right?"
yeah, you're chump now. We don't need you. We'll boot you off real quick. So,
Yeah. Congratulations, Eddie.
yeah,
Big win,
congratulations,
baby.
Eddie,
Big
man. That
win.
was an awesome deal right
Hey,
there.
I'll
So,
tell you what, is that Texas Red Friday and Saturday morning that got him that good luck charm.
yeah, that's it.
That white boy Michelada, he calls it.
Jason, you missed
You
everything. Go
missed a
back
lot.
from the beginning. You
You
missed a
missed a
lot.
lot.
That's all I can
A
tell
lot.
you. Let's see what he put. I just stick the meat in there at whatever temperature is inside my trailer. So there you go.
Okay. All right.
There you go. Oh, goodness gracious.
So
Let's
Eddie
see.
has his in his
Inside his trailer.
climate
sounds
controlled area. Yeah.
like. That's all right, Eddie. We'll get you on the next time, brother. So, goodness. Yeah,
All
so
good.
he's probably got it in some type of climate control, where at least, there's a big difference between 50 degrees and if it's, 70 degrees. That's 20 degrees right there. So,
Mhm.
and that's a big variance. If you're pulling a rib, just say at 210, you got 20, 30 degrees difference in outside temperature on that Cambro. It especially, I don't know how long it rests. If it rested an hour, that's one thing. If it rested an hour and a half, man, you're starting to push into Eddie. I mean, he
I
rests
like a
his.
3-day rest on my ribs.
Yeah, Lee
3
Lee
days.
rests them forever. So he don't. I don't. He. I don't, so he likes to rest. Lee, you can pack a lunch with Lee the way he rests his. So
You could do a full cook as long as it takes me to rest my ribs.
that's right. Thanks, Eddie. Do you experience the ribs tighten
You know,
up
I
at all?
just I just like my profile. When my profile comes, I can sit down and relax for a minute. I know when chicken gets turned in, and I turn it in. I come back, my ribs are coming off. Everything has a process to me because I don't have to be ahead of schedule. I'm just right there. Everything's just kind of right there. It's all just kind of rolls. I'm an hour and a half ahead. Everything's good, So that to me, that's my process as a one-man team. Eddie's got his process as a one-man team. Lee does. We all do, But in Mikey, the same way. Everybody has a timeline that
Right.
makes their process fit. It's a matter of, and if it gets done early, no big deal, man. Just, just take care of business. But at the end of the day, it's all about the texture and the tenderness, and it's all about the flavor.
Yep.
So in those three categories right there.
That's it. That's where it is. It's a tenderness game. To me, that's the biggest thing. I mean, I want to be able to hand you that deadgum brisket, and you take a bite of it and you go, gosh, dang, that. Oh, there's Marley. But that's just the biggest thing to me is it's just like I want it to melt in your mouth. Let's see what Gabe's this either. By the way, I took Aaron's all access class back in
Thanks,
December.
man,
I need
man.
new
Appreciate
boots
it.
for all the.
But the one thing
for
you got to
walking.
remember also
Nice.
is that the most, he needs a new set of boots, Mike. And you
Yeah.
owe him a new set of boots, man. I don't
know
want to
it.
tell you, man.
I
He's just
know
gonna you're wearing them out.
Why don't you send him some dadgum beef jerky then?
No, it's hey guys, dang, no, that's
That's Brandon.
it's about how far you take it.
Yeah.
It's about how far it's got to come down when it cools off,
Right.
But man, they're using a fork and a knife.
Right.
Period. So the texture of the fork and a knife is what you're going for.
That's right. 100%.
Mhm.
So let's see, fall off the bone without falling off the bone. That's exactly it. Mine are right there on the edge, buddy. I can take a bite and it'll still stay on it, but buddy, you better not breathe on it hard because it's going to be coming off sometime after that. So, man, we got a great show tonight, man. So let's see what we got, fella. Let's see what we got. Does it hurt the ribs when taking them off and sauced right away? No.
No.
It doesn't hurt them, So
That's what Aaron does anyway. It works for him.
yeah, maybe.
That's just not my technique. I like a longer rest period. Aaron just takes it right off the pit and sauces
Yeah.
and cuts and
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah, he ain't waiting. He ain't got a long rest on his rib. So I try.
So-
Mine's usually like anywhere from about 30 minutes is probably about the longest mine will rest. 30 to 35 minutes.
So do you actually put yours in the Cambro for 30 minutes, or you
Yeah, I
just,
will.
Stick
I'll
around.
get them, go in the Cambro 30 minutes, put them, and I put them at the very top too, because I know people are like, well, where do you put your meat in the Cambro? I put it on. Well, I put my ribs at the very top of my Cambro. Why? Heat rises. What's underneath that? My brisket. So I've got brisket at the bottom, warming that up. I'm not worried about that brisket cooling down anytime soon. Number one, it's a freaking 2.5-inch thick piece of meat, so it's not going to drop temperature like a little old rib that's 3/4 of an inch or an inch thick. So ribs go at the top, right up against the very top of it. Brisket's going to slip right up underneath it. And a lot of times my ribs will go in, and it may be 20, 30 minutes before my ribs come in or my brisket comes in underneath it. So my Cambro is, I take all my metal pans and I put them on top of my smoker. I've got 3 stainless, service pans, and I have them just sitting on top of my smoker, and then I'll take them out and I put them in the Cambro. So it's warming.
They're
it
doing
up
that
some.
to warm them up.
Just a little, yeah. That's another thing. What are you putting your ribs in? Are you putting them in a full pan? And if you're putting them in a full pan, are you putting them in a stainless, service pan and throwing the ribs in that? Well, heck, if that's the case and that pan is ice cold, man, you just dropped 20 degrees on that deadgum rib as soon as you did that. So my service pans are on my smoker hot. I mean, I don't know, they're probably 100, 120 degrees. When I pull my ribs, I put a full pan in there, and I've already got the full pan in the, I put a service pan and a full pan, a service pan and a full pan on top of my smoker. So when my ribs are done, I pull it off. That pan's hot, my full pan's hot. It goes right into my ribs go into it, top shelf of the Cambro. It may be 15 minutes, it may be 30 minutes after my brisket goes in. But I've got all that stuff sitting on the top, and heat rises, and I've got it, that heat, man, I mean, the heat's coming off the ribs, it's hitting off the top, and it comes right back down on the rib. So the rib never has a chance really to cool off. Okay, I gave a pro tip away. So sometimes, guys, it's more than just the cooker.
So are you leaving you don't have to answer. Are you leaving your ribs completely wrapped up when you stick them in the Cambro?
I never open them. They come straight off there, go straight in the Cambro. So they don't ever get open. So not venting them, no way. Does anyone offer a PG rib class? Because I know technique is different. A PG?
A tamed down rib class, maybe, like family friendly, maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
PG.
Does anyone offer a PG rib class? Because I know technique
PG
is different.
Am I thinking it wrong? What's PG?
I don't know. What do you think in PG? PG nice, PG friendly. Does anyone offer a PG?
A parental guidance? Easy?
I don't think that's what it is. I don't know. We'll find out. Tell us what you're talking about, Chris. A PG. I don't know what that one is. Parental guidance.
I'm saying, right? Just a low, easy. Does anybody just offer a rib class? Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone offer?
Everybody offers this rib classes.
Yeah. Pellet grill. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
I'm like, man, I was like, what the heck? Yeah. Bill Purvis's class, man, he did them on a pellet cooker.
Sterling Smith
pellet cooker. Robert Smith's brand new 2025 class pellet cooker. So there's you 3 of them right there, brother. So,
yes, there is, Jason. It's called the behind the scenes, the editing room.
Are there R-rated classes that I don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, the one good thing about Barbecue Champs Academy on these live classes that you buy, there is no editing. And when Mike says, okay, roll it, and all 4 cameras are rolling, let me tell you, there's no stop, cut, let's rewind, go back, do it again. That's it. You get one time. If you breathe or toot or blow a booger, it's going to be on film.
It's going to be on film.
There's no editing.
Yeah. I have a lot of people ask that. I'm glad you brought that up, Lee, because we don't really talk about it a whole lot. But I do that for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm going to get everything out of the cooks because I want you to tell me what you do, not what we got to back up. I said that wrong, or I didn't do this or something. I want to know what they're doing. And I just feel like that when we say roll the camera, I mean, I think the guys are like, how the heck can you do? I had one guy who was here not too long ago, and he was like, how do you get up there with all these different classes that we shot? My gosh, we shot 40 different dadgum classes through all the whole filming part of it. You never have a script, and you just roll through it. And I was like, man, I don't know. I've just got the gift of gab, and I just go with it, and I know the questions I want to ask. I know the direction I want to take the class. I want to put yourself like you're sitting right here in front of the table and ask the questions that you would want to know. And so that's what we do. Hey, he's back. There we go. Yeah. So anyway, it's pretty cool.
I don't know what was going on. It's been breaking up this whole time. So
yeah, Eddie has a good question about Aaron. If preheating your Cambro, if that has a lot of variables, well, probably so. If you're taking classes from one person to the next, I don't think we ever talk about preheating Cambro.
if you just
Right.
want and preheating to what temperature? I just want it
Right.
warm. I don't want it to be as cold as a bag of ice in the bottom
No.
of it or ice packs. I just want it to be like higher than room temperature. Now, if it was just 105 or 10-degree day, then that's fine. I just want to make sure that I don't have a chill in there that's going to knock the temperature down a little faster.
Right.
That's my only concern, right? So I just want to knock the chill off on the inside.
He would be canceled right away. Forget it. Go home.
What did
Go
he say?
home.
If I ever have a barbecue champ class, I would be the first to be edited. That or the beep button.
It would all
would
just
be.
keep-
Let me tell you,
The beep button would be
Travis,
overworked.
it was definitely difficult for me as an oil-filled hand to not throw certain bombs out there during my normal talk, because that's a normal conversation for me.
Yeah.
And so I have to watch that, and it makes you think about what your words are coming out of your mouth. But then you have Mike behind the camera pacing back and forth, thinking about the next thing you got to say. He's like giving you words to say. He's going back, and you're like, you can't move your eyes. You're like, you're just following this guy. He's pacing, and he's trying to come up with the right thing to say. You know, so anyways, it's just funny. It's just, but yeah, you would be. You have to learn that in Mike's class, when you're doing that, you have to learn to grammar yourself up a little bit and think about turning off the filter just a short while, because that's not who we are on normal, but yet you're trying to be politically correct, and talk normal, decent, and keep it, kid friendly. So
Yeah. Hey, Jason Pettis, while you're
It's definitely
out,
hard.
we were talking about a pellet grill chicken class. What do you think about pellet grills for chicken?
Man, Stephen Peacock comes to
100%.
mind. I'm pretty sure Stephen Peacock cooks Arizona. I know at one time he was. Now I don't know if he switched over, but I know. Let's see, he was cooking. He had 2 pellet cookers in Blanchard. Had a small one and a big one. I think Stephen Peacock cooks. Stephen, if you're on here, thumbs up, brother. I'm almost positive Stephen Peacock cooks his on a pellet.
Well, Stephen's got 2 Green Mountains. He got 2 Green Mountains.
Had 2 Green Mountain, and I didn't see a drum anywhere.
He might have he might have one he does chicken on.
I think he has a little small one, and he has 2 big ones. Yeah, a while back you couldn't do the show because you were filming a new class. Was that one ever officially announced? No, I don't think so.
I cooked a tied for 3rd place chicken at Houston Rodeo a couple years ago on a Rec Tech bullseye.
Yeah.
So at Houston, that got us a walk, and then I think they're great. I think it sets yourself off on chicken where it's not so grilly, not so smoky, not so steaky. It doesn't have that huge grill flavor. It kind of keeps it like chicken.
Right.
Kind of keeps it that low smoke, that low kind of flavor profile, but it still tastes like a good bird, right?
That's right.
I think it's got its advantages, especially when you're in a contest with a lot of drums or offsets.
Yeah, 100%. Man, this has been a great class, a great podcast tonight, man. We've had a lot.
You have a hard
topics.
time getting your skin crispy on the Rec Tech?
No.
Just cooking
Not
hot?
at all. And when we go teach the Red Tech Academy, so we cooked the Red Tech Academy in April or May, June, depending on when we did. And then one with Rob Rocha, and then November, September, November. That I've cooked them all the time on that, and never had an issue. I've cooked them on the bullseye. The skin is great. It's not dried out, and it's not rubbery. It just has a nice cut through with that plastic knife.
Yep.
I've also cooked my legs and my wings from the Royal on the Rec Tech, and I walked, got banners in those, ribbons in those. So, it's I think the flavor profile is good. The light smoke is good. I think people are used to that. But just think about this: not everybody's cooking on a drum at home in their backyard. And they're not cooking on an offset smoker at home in their backyard. They're cooking on a pellet grill.
Right.
They have gas grills, pellet grills, so that for most guys that are judging, that flavor is kind of there already. It's familiar to them. So that's my opinion.
Yep. All right, I like to cook brisket and ribs on an offset. Anyone I should watch, Dunn Purvis, one and one other. That big gal right there, take the class. Raise your hand, sir. He cooked. Both of these guys cook on a
take
offset.
the class, man.
Yeah, they both of these guys cooked ribs and brisket on an offset. So Aaron did a Jambo, and Lee Hickel did.
I cooked on a Jambo. Lee's on a sniper, I think, right? Lee?
Pitmaker.
You have offset
Pitmaker.
on a
Yeah,
sniper
he did a
mostly?
Pitmaker. Yep.
Pitmaker?
Yeah, Pitmaker. So both of those guys are offset.
So, Jambo here, and
Corey Mikes did a Jambo as well. So, All right, Stephen Peacock. He did move to a Weber Smoky Mountain. I guess it's a Weber Smoky Mountain for his chicken. So there you go.
So you might as well just call it a drum.
That's it. That's a drum,
Right.
baby. That's what I cook mine on. Love it. All right, let's see one other one by Jay. I ran a bullseye. I ran a bullseye for a year or so on chicken. I ended up going back to the WSM for more char flavor. Yep. I love my WSM. Man, I love my
Paul
WSM.
Whitaker cooked on 3 WSMs when I first met him, and he was just. I mean, it was just. There's something different about a WSM. It's the original RTD2, right? It's the original drum, so it has that flavor profile with that dome lid, and then that's why people start putting a Weber lid on top of a drum, and I mean, trying to micromanage and trying to make a kind of a half set kind of drum yet smoky. I mean, you're making concoctions, but I do think a WSM has something different to offer. The way everything is kind of there and built, but I mean, I knew Paul when he first started out to cook on WSM, and he had 3 of them, and it was like he was just pulling things out of his butt. They've just beating us here and there on different things, but it was a flavor profile that you couldn't get on a drum or an offset. So
Right.
it kind of had that little difference to it. So I've only cooked it one time. That was in Alaska this past July, and I mean, it was kind of different. So definitely a different thing to cook on for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so I done punched the wrong dadgum button. I had this thing scrolling across the screen the whole time. We'll be giving away our 20 backyard barbecue classes at the end of the show. This is the one I was supposed to have clicked. So I guess I need to give away a 20. I guess I'm gonna have to give away a 20 backyard barbecue class. I need a trivia question, guys. So, oh my goodness gracious! I punched the wrong button.
Hey, so I was prepared. I was prepared for Mike's show, right? So I made 4 solo cups just for this show.
There you go.
And now I'm on my 4th one. This has been a good show.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm going to Irving. That's for sure. WSM is a goat. Yeah, I love my WSM. All right, so I got to come up with a trivia question because I've had that thing playing there. I hit the button, the ticker was rolling. All right, let me come up with a trivia question real quick. We got to do something related to barbecue.
I got something for you.
You got something? Well, you're gonna have to text it to me so I can ask the question.
I got something for you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can't do it. I'm on the phone. Sorry.
There you
Well,
go.
just ask it. Mike may scrub the question. Just go ahead and ask it.
What is Andy Hollerman's middle name? Just ask that. Jason will be the first to get it.
Andy, his first name is Doctor.
Well, there's
Doctor.
only
Okay, let me think of something real quick.
there's only been one time. There's only been one time that San Antonio Rodeo had a double header, and who was the man to win, to place top 2 in both days?
Oh God! Now, can you see the comments here? And hold on, we can't use that because your comments are not going to be in the same time that mine, because mine is in real time. Yours is going to be delayed.
You're saying that person had a grand in a reserve, or 2 reserves, or 2
Oh, I
grand?
remember that. They won it on one day, and
There's only been one.
yeah,
There's only been one time the SA Rodeo ever had a double header.
Oh, it was a double
and
header.
it's only had one person has ever placed in the top 2 both days.
I got you. It was the top 2. We can't use that as a trivia question, though.
Craig Sherry.
No,
I have
No.
no
I don't know
idea.
why you couldn't. It's gonna be hard for someone to know it.
Hey, he was there this weekend. Did you see him?
Yeah. Yeah, Craig was there.
He was, and we talked. Yes, we did.
That's
Yeah.
A good old hug
Yeah,
from
it was
Craig.
good to see Craig.
And I tell you,
Yeah.
I miss the guy. I mean, when it comes to business is business and friends are friends, he's a great guy. He's got some health issues, but I love to see him. I told him he need to get outside. He need to go see cooks. Cooks, you know who he is. There's cooks out there 2, 3, 4 years now that don't even know who Craig is.
Yeah.
He needs to get back
Right.
out there and be done.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Bart being is not it.
All right. So
I'll tell you what. If anybody gets my question right, Mike, you find your own question.
okay.
If anybody gets my question right, I'll send him a free bag of Rooster Juice
We ain't got no rooster juice yet. Was it?
before the show ends.
Oh, before the show, was it Daryl Walker?
Is it Sweetie?
No, it wasn't
No,
Sweetie.
it wasn't Sweetie.
Probably CJ.
Nope.
No, that's funny.
Nope.
Oh, let me think here.
When was it last year? There was a double header.
I'm not telling you that answer. You're gonna have to figure that out. Nope, not Papa Joe neither.
No, it won't be that. Oh, here.
See, you see, Mike. What a hell of a question.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, nobody can figure it out. Nope, wasn't Clarence Joseph.
It wasn't Tuffy.
That's okay, Mike. Go ahead and ask your question, though, man. I mean, I'll honor up to my side.
Well, you got
I
Corey
mean,
Mikes.
everybody, nope, not Johnny
No, it
Trigg
wasn't.
neither.
No, it wasn't
Ah.
Johnny.
Man, you guys are so far off, it's unreal.
Giant barbecue.
Nope,
No.
wasn't Darwin. I love
Arnie?
Darwin. I miss the guy. I wish he would have been out this year.
Yeah, it wasn't Arnie.
Nope, wasn't Arnie either. Damn, Mike, I've got him stumped, man.
Oh, I know. You gave him a tough
I
question.
don't even know the answer.
I don't know this one.
Nope,
Robert
not Robert
Sierra?
Sierra neither. Well, you're at the 1 hour mark, so I mean, you got to call it.
Yeah,
You
I
can
know.
tell me how long you want to let this question go, and nobody's gonna get it.
No, they probably ain't. your rooster juice is
Well,
safe.
don't give up your answer yet. Let Mike do his question. That
Yeah,
people
let me
ponder on
get
yours.
let me
Yeah,
get a
that's
question.
great.
Let me
No,
get a
jump on
question
it.
real quick. Let me think real quick. Let me get a question. Oh my goodness gracious! Stick with me, guys. Don't run off just yet. We're gonna give Aaron Lesley. Lee Hickel. Wasn't Lee Hickel? Was it Aaron Lesley?
Nope.
No, it
I'm just
wasn't Aaron.
saying, man, this is good. I
This
can't
is good.
believe this is going this long without nobody knowing.
Heck, I didn't even know they had a doubleheader at San Antonio. You got me so dead.
Yeah, I was there. I was part of it.
And it was a Lone Star doubleheader.
He's not going to necessarily say that. No, it wasn't a Lone Star.
I'm not going to tell you anything. I gave you the question.
That way we can look it up.
I've
Yeah,
cooked
good.
6,
Scooter?
7 years now. I've cooked.
Scooter?
Nope. I've cooked 7 years at San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, and this has only happened one time.
Guys, y'all can get a free bag of his infamous rooster juice if y'all can come up with the right answer.
You're seeing it happen within the last
How long
7
you
years.
how long you keeping the show going?
Nah, we'll go another minute. We still got 46 folks on here, so we're good.
So has it happened in the last 7 years?
I'm just gonna say that in the history of the San Antonio Stock
Ruts
Show
and
Rodeo,
Bucks. John Price.
this has only happened once. Nope.
No. Casanova.
Nope. Not Carlo either.
What was the question? Shoot the
In
question.
the history
again.
of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, there has only been one person to ever ever win one of the top 2 spots both days in a doubleheader for the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo.
Butchers. No, it wasn't.
I wish it was Trump, but I'd give it to him.
Fred Robles.
He's had my steaks, but nope, not Fred Robbie's. I'm assuming you're meaning Fred Robles.
Fred Robles. Craig, it wasn't Craig. We done
Wasn't
said
Craig
that.
neither.
It wasn't James Brooks.
All right, sounds like first clue.
He ain't gonna give us no clue. Jay. I'm punching them up. This is interesting, guys. Y'all can you can get some rooster juice. Jamie Gear.
Nope.
No.
I wish it was Jamie, but it wasn't Jamie.
It wasn't Johnny. I know that. That's done been said. I was there. I cooked it myself. I'll keep it to myself. This is Jaime.
Say it. You might as well. Reserve Grand Champion.
I want to see how long this goes.
That's the Reserve Grand Champion right there.
I think Jaime might know. He could know, but at the same time, it's just a damn good question that nobody knows because you haven't been. If you know the history of the SA Rodeo, this is something that was big because a lot of us did get invited to this for this cook-off. It was an invitation only on a Friday. It was not Bill, and it was not
Jamie. It wasn't Jamie.
Cody Cookers.
Okay.
I wasn't Chopper.
It wasn't Robert.
Nope.
Not always.
Let's see. A newbie question. A drum smoker, do you always use a water pan when smoking ribs?
No, I don't use a water pan.
No water pan. Mo Casey.
It was not Mo, and it wasn't Caesar.
All right. There we go. Guys, this is Rooster Juice on the line.
Stumped them. Man, this is stump.
Wasn't Mo, wasn't Arnie. We done said that.
Stump Nation right here, man.
Man, we might could use this as a trivia question right here.
You might as well.
Kit Pope.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I will not give up the answer. I will not give up the answer at all. I will say it behind the scenes, and you can come up with this again one day.
A little clue. A little clue. It was a points chase. Eddie Morales. It wasn't Eddie Morales.
It's the only time it ever happened at the SA Rodeo.
Huh. Tyler?
Well, I guess you ought to time it out. It's been 4 minutes, Mike. I don't know what you
Yeah.
want to say.
Okay, what about Fernando? No?
Well,
Oh, man, we got a good one going here now.
there's only one man. There's only one man that can ever
Ernest.
pull that off.
Ernest?
No, he said no earlier.
No, okay,
Nope.
wasn't Purvis.
Nope.
Man alive, I'm trying to think.
He would love to have.
Yeah.
I talked to him there, but he didn't do it.
Did this person cook it this year?
Yeah, it wasn't Justin.
Yes, he did.
Flaherty family.
He was there this year. He goes every year.
Joey Smith.
Nope,
No.
not Joey Smith.
What about Johnny Dunn?
Well, maybe one day you guys will get it.
Aaron Franklin. No, it wasn't Aaron Franklin, that's for sure. Oh my goodness gracious. Rooster Juice is on the line and nobody can get
I
it.
don't know who Ronnie Webster is, but
oh, I know who it is.
damn. I mean, you've asked some questions, Mike.
I know.
You've asked some questions, Mike, but you
Well,
just
I
haven't-
try to give them questions
this
that they
long.
can answer. What about Ronnie Wade?
But you know what though? If you're a Texas cook, you've been doing this for more than if you've been doing this for 15 years or less,
Yeah.
you would know who this is.
So they were there this year
Oh yeah.
and cooking.
Oh yeah, cooked it.
Man alive. I'm trying to think. Hey, Lee, there was only 275 teams there. So,
Right.
oh, gosh. No, it ain't Ferg because Ferg.
I knew what you meant, Jason. I knew what you meant, Ronnie Wade.
Yeah.
But it was not Ronnie Wade. It wasn't Carlo. And Ronnie's a badass cook. He has got, that guy has got the ribbons and the trophies and the
200
How about the Canterberries? How about the Canterberries?
It wasn't the Canterberries. Nope. Wasn't, and that's old school cooks too. It wasn't the Canterberries.
Wow. My first.
Let me know when you want to call calf rope.
No. All right, guys. What do y'all think? This is a chance to win the 20 backyard barbecue classes. We got a question that's.
This is. There's only
crazy.
one man to ever get one of the top two spots. That's a reserve and a grand, 2 days in a row.
A reserve and a grand 2 days in a row at San Antonio.
So he either reserved it or granted one day, reserved it or granted the second day.
Dang, that is crazy. Dr. Smoke. Justin, was it?
I don't know if Dr. Smoke has ever cooked the SA Rodeo.
Justin, yeah, I don't think he. Myron
I don't
Mixon,
know if he ever cooked it.
No, because you got to figure, here, guys, he said they cooked this weekend. Justin didn't cook, and Myron Mixon sure wasn't down there. They cooked this weekend. Wow. Doug, I don't know who Doug is. David Prater, I don't think it would be Prater. It ain't Aaron Lesley.
That's all right, man. You just,
It ain't Bill Purvis.
Aaron Lesley. I've never granted.
Yeah. Wow, I'm stumped. I am truly stumped.
What's the first letter of the first name?
He ain't gonna tell you.
Nope.
Ain't gonna happen. He's gonna make you earn this. Rooster Juice and 20 backyard barbecue classes are on the line. This is crazy.
I mean, just gonna say that this is there's only this guy. This
crazy.
guy has wreaked havoc across the United States.
Sean Woodson, no, it's not him. Gail, no, not him. To be continued. I love it.
Is it Oscar? Is it Oscar?
Nope.
Oh, they cooked this.
Oscar's
weekend.
never reserved and granted.
Wow.
He granted.
Wow.
He has never reserved one day and granted the next.
Oh.
Same weekend, guys.
No,
one weekend here on 2023 and one weekend in 2019. I'm telling you, this guy has granted and reserved on the same weekend at the SA Rodeo.
Walker.
Harry Sue has never cooked the SA Rodeo as far as I know.
Yeah, guys. They cooked this weekend. Mark Lambert. He cooked this weekend. No.
All right. Well,
Travis
I
Clark.
mean,
no.
you know, you guys are throwing shit out there that are just. I mean, you're bouncing
Yeah.
crap off the walls. The guys that haven't even been to SA Rodeo or been to Texas,
No,
so
they ain't cooked.
it's all good. Yeah,
Oscar.
Mike, you can use it one day.
We'll use it. All right. Everybody lost it. You had plenty of time. I tell you what we'll do. It ain't Jen Canterbury. We done said the Canterburies.
Yeah, you had plenty of time.
You had plenty of time. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Everybody's tried. Hey, here's the cool thing. Y'all got all week to fill it out, to figure it out. We'll ask the question next week. This was a good one. You're going to get the rooster juice, and you're going to get the 20 backyard barbecue classes. If whoever can figure it out, and we ask this question, Lord willing, next week we'll be back. We're going to find out who can get this answer, and this will be great. Rooster juice and 20 backyard barbecue classes for the person that can get it right. No, it wasn't Boomerang because they didn't cook this weekend. He's saying they cooked this weekend, so it's a current cook that cooked this weekend and then. So it's
a current cook who cooked this weekend, but has also reserved a cook-off and granted this cook-off in the same weekend.
That's it. All right. We'll find out.
You guys,
we'll find out next week.
Me you just don't remember your.
I don't
just
know
don't remember your SA rodeos.
That's it. All right, guys. This has been a fun one. You got everybody stumped. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to start coming up with trivia questions so dadgum hard it takes them forever to figure it out. So,
well, they in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's it.
They
ain't giving us no
answers. The thing
answers.
is that it's about things. It's about our past, right? It's about our
Right.
history, our past, and who's done what. Because a lot of cooks are a year, 2 years into it. Some are 10 years into it. So it's about finding something that people don't know about. That's what I think it's all about.
Yeah,
nope.
I think that's awesome. All right, I tell you what, we're going to wrap it up. We're getting into chicken frieds time over there. We got a ton of comments. This is great. Next Tuesday, Lord willing, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, we're going to be back on. We're going to be at the end of the show, and we're probably going to have to ask this question when we kind of hit the peak of our audience, maybe like around 7:15, 7:30, and y'all have 30 minutes to go through and guess this. So hopefully somebody will get it right. Anyway. Incognito, Danny. Incognito. Yeah, he didn't cook this weekend. So, all right, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. We appreciate everybody being with us tonight. Thank y'all so much. Lee, Aaron, you stumped the field, brother.
Hey, man.
And
hey, it's about knowledge, man. It's about knowledge.
That's it. It's been a good one. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all being with us. Thank you for being here. Lee, Aaron, as always, man, it's been a great night tonight, brother. And I can't wait to be back next week. We're going to find out who this person is. I hope everybody has a great week. Y'all be good. And as we always say, y'all go out there, have a lot of fun.